Hello everyone. It's been a long day making videos, but good news, this is my last one, and for this series of the Circuit Overseer midweek. So basically this part, very interesting, how a guy in the field service humble himself to a Jehovah Witness because he did a witness wrong. But Jehovah Witnesses won't humble themselves when facts, evidence is in front of them. They become wicked and corrupt than the man that had a bad day starting off when a witness knocking on his door interrupt him and his family, whatever activity they had going at that moment when Jehovah Witness knocking on the door, and interrupt that. So let's get into this, and near the end, it's the main part of this video that I wanted to bring up. So let's get started and analyze this last part of the segment of this Circuit Overseer.
Paul also said, if you go back to verse 7 or verse 6, we also recommend ourselves by knowledge and also by patience. Now, we need patience in the ministry. Sometimes we have to endure wrong or being provoked. Have you ever been provoked in the ministry?
Oh yeah, people at those carts, and they're having Jehovah Witnesses coming up to them and let them have it about Watchtower lying to them. Oh yeah, they get provoked and they stand there and look like they're chewing their cud because they don't want to have a one-on-one conversation. In other words, you telling me this? Show me. If they have child molesting in your religion, show me. Show me. If I'm too lazy to look it up, do you have anything on you to show me how wicked our organization is? You know something? If I had someone at the past came up to me and gave me all the evidence, I would have come out sooner. I would have came out wiser. Now, I could have woke my parents up. And other people could have. So, do these witnesses do what they're talking about right now? No way.
There was a brother in the ministry one day, and a man came to the door. He was so angry that his lips were quivering, his whole body was shaking, and the brother just tried to calm him down with the Bible. But the man's anger just intensified. Then the wife and the children joined in, so the brother knew it was time to leave. But he assured the family he had come in peace, and that's how he desired to leave, in peace. In fact, he even shared Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23, the different aspects of the fruit of the Spirit, self-control, love, peace. And so he left.
True. This man later on humbled himself, and apologized. Jehovah Witness says, do you humble yourself when we come to you and give you evidence? Will you let your guard down and let us show you the truth for once? Let's continue.
Later, he was calling on homes across the street, and the family was sitting on the front steps, and they called him over. And he's thinking, what now? Well, the man actually had a jug of cool water and offered the brother a drink and apologized for his rudeness and commended him for his strong faith, and they ended up parting on good terms. What did the brother do? He recommended himself as a minister by his patience. Now, Paul goes in verse 7 and verse 8, we recommend ourselves as ministers by truthful speech, by God's power through the weapons of righteousness.
Truthful speech and righteousness. Where in the world this crap is coming from? If there was any truthfulness, none of us would ever left Watchtower's teaching. None of us would have left our families, our friends, our loved ones. If this was God's organization, God's true channel. Come on, people. How can you stand here, listen to the crap that's coming from his mouth? This is a truthful organization? I see so many false prophecies in their own literature. And even one of them mentioned they was not going to ever put false dates in their publications. False dates. So they lied when they put that comment in the publication, when they stir up 1975 in the publications. If no one knows the time or the hour, why would you put a date in your literature and say possibility this could be Armageddon this year? How truthful is that? How truthful it was for between 1918, 1919, when Harper God and Billions Now Living Will Never Die, those two books, when it was pointed that 1925, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, all those men was coming back alive before the death of Judge Rutherford. He died, and those men are still not here. And it's been in many of the publications around that year. Even up to 1931, they were still preaching that. After they changed their name from Bible students to Jehovah Witnesses. All the way up to Judge Rutherford's death. Where's the truthfulness from that Jehovah Witness?
In the right hand and in the left, through glory and dishonor, through bad report and good report. We are regarded as deceivers, and yet we are truthful. Whether we're honored or dishonored, we're always comporting ourselves as Christians. It does not matter how others treat us. That's never the issue. The issue is how we always respond. There is no better example than who? Well, Jehovah.
So I see a splitness. Jehovah Witnesses, that's Jehovah Witnesses. Truth and Watchtower still teaching the lies of Watchtower. So there's the dishonesty and the truth. That's the reason why we're making these videos. We are not the dark side of Jehovah's Witnesses. We're not the other side of the coin that is wicked. We are the side that woke up and realized how evil Watchtower made Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's why the reason Jehovah's Witnesses in an evil organization, and they are corrupt by Watchtower's policies. So that makes Jehovah's Witnesses evil too, because they're not waking up when we approach them. We show them. They refuse to accept the truth. That's why they are wicked, because they don't want to wake up when it's so simple to see the truth. Don't let pride to destroy your life with Christ and His Father by believing in all the garbage that Watchtower has published all these years. The good part will be coming up soon.
Paul was the best example, but certainly the Christ, when he was on the torture stake, what did he say with regards to the Roman soldiers? Forgive them. Forgive them. It didn't matter how he was being treated. He was not going to return it.
Well, here's the question. I forgot this was in here. Are we supposed to forgive Watchtower for lying to us? Imperfect men lying to us, deceiving us, causing a bunch of our families to die for false policies. Are we supposed to forgive them? No. Because these men knows how wicked this organization is. They know how corrupt Jehovah's Witnesses religion is. It's not like they just came into this belief system and also learning its rules. These people was in it for a long time, and when they get the new governing body members, how come these new governing body members haven't seen something wicked about the others? Maybe because they enjoy the life of living rich, going to any place you want, and using the witnesses' money to go on different vacations, going all over the world. They're living as kings and their queens they married to. That's a life that any person would dream to be able to go to Jerusalem, go to Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia. They're living off Jehovah's Witnesses' money. They're not going to give that up. Unbelievable.
And we do the same exact thing. That's the model for you and me to follow. We just don't return evil for evil. Good report, bad reports. There are good reports at times. We read of those, but there are bad reports at times as well. We don't respond to that. In fact, there's something new on the jw.org website. Did you see the new thing with regards to what we just talked about? Well, you can see it for yourself. At any rate, sometimes when individuals write things, it just simply backfires. There was a man who had read a very...
Here it is, right here. This is the part that pissed me off really bad. Let's get into it.
Very disparaging article about Jehovah's Witnesses in a very well-known newspaper. He was shocked by the remarks But he decided really to go to the Kingdom Hall and just check it out for himself. That's what he did. He went to the meeting on Sunday, and he compared the conduct of Jehovah's people with what was written, and he couldn't reconcile it. It didn't make any sense. He eventually started to study the Bible with Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know where he's at today, but so it backfired. The writers of the newspaper article did not have that in mind, but certainly we recommend ourselves as ministers. And so Paul concludes this portion of recommending ourselves, because he goes in to talk about something else in verse 11. In verse 9, he writes, we recommend ourselves as unknown, and yet we are recognized, as dying, and yet look we live, as punished, and yet not handed over to death, as sorrowing, but ever rejoicing, as poor, but making many rich as having nothing, and yet possessing all things.
Let's stop right there. This guy would be like someone watching TV and see the evidence about Jehovah Witnesses covering up pedophiles. Jehovah Witness was at an airport taking pictures of boys' penises and leaving his phone number with them and a picture of him being naked, so they can take the invitation for this guy to molest them. People, this guy did no research. Now, if this is just a recent incident, when there's so much information out there on the web, you can Google just about anything on Jehovah's Witnesses. Something is going to come up. So this guy failed to get more information before he soon evidence why he was going to go to a Kim Hall and see what he partially even knew about them, to find out if what was true or not of the source. Of course, you got all the other religions out there. You got your Mormons, Seventh-day Adventists, and many others. Scientology. Of course, you're going to go into theirs, and they're going to act like Christians. They're going to walk like Christians. They're going to bark like Christians. But they are really wolves in sheep clothing. And this guy started studying. So what happened to him? Why he didn't become a Jehovah's Witness? Because maybe he found more proof and evidence, and that's the reason he never joined. Otherwise, there would have been a happy ending on this story. Did they left that part out? When he went someplace else and found research on the internet and realized he was wrong, how good Jehovah's Witnesses are in the Kingdom Hall. They are love bombing, just like every false religion, every cult. People, it's time to get out of the shell. Start thinking, what is the truth and what's a lie? We are on the side of getting you out, educate you, not becoming a Jehovah's Witness. I don't have a gendering to have people to follow me. But I do have the heart to warn you what's going to happen when you join this dangerous cult. I was in it. That's the reason why you see me right now. I care about your safety, your children's safety, to get them out or keep them from joining this evil cult. That's all my job is. You can believe me or you can disagree with me. But when you don't do no research, I don't mean on JW broadcast, JW.org. There's so much stuff you can Google about Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's not good, it's not nice, it's all pure evil, and just about every % of it is true. Because when you find more sources for the child molesting and husbands beating their wives because they don't do exactly what this man wants, so it gives him a right to beat his wife. The elders turn the cheek and blame it on the wife because she didn't cook breakfast for him, and she haven't cooked breakfast for him for many years. So where's the good? Where's the kindness in that? There's other illustrations, people getting punished. I remember as a kid when we had to go to Kingdom Hall and we had to come up with something that the other person, there was 4 of us, we could not say the exact same thing of the other person, what they learned at the meeting. Otherwise, we would have been put in the corner. Children be put in the corner because they had to focus every single brain cell into these talks to keep from getting punished. And you wonder why I'm doing these videos. I'll leave that up to you. Bye for now.